because there is no what up, Lucky? There is no
Lucky
structure anymore. And then when your daughter, shout out to my girl Luck, always support the platform, her and Lauren Melissa. Make sure y'all tap in and see them too. It is no structure over there. I mean, with the way that we raise our daughters. And so a lot of times, it's no structure with women in general. Let me tell y'all something, bro. Now y'all about to get me going. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, listen, however y'all see fit. My girl Lauren Melissa, what's up, baby girl?
Hi, Lauren.
Lauren, what's up, girl?
Let me tell y'all something. And anybody is welcome to join the panel and say whatever it is that they want to say. I have no rules here. Women need structure. They need it, right? Any woman that's operating outside of structure, outside of structure, is nothing but pure chaos, because they don't know what the piss they're gonna have to deal with, how they're gonna react to it, how it is that they have to defend themselves, where it is that they need to trade in their time for money so that they can learn to house and feed themselves and all of this type of stuff. And so, you know, people that don't understand the beauty of structure will reject it simply because they don't understand how it is that it benefits them. And so what happens is when a woman is outside of structure, and structure comes in the form of a lot of times a man putting them in a position where they don't have to trade in their time for money. You don't have to work. Now you can start to fall into your femininity because you feel protected. You feel like you're in a good space. You don't have to worry about the things that every other woman and every other man have to worry about. Now you can truly just become a mother. You can find your purpose. You can figure out, because it's not saying that you can't work, but what it's saying is that you shouldn't have to work in order for us to be able to do what it is that we need to do within the household. And so what happens is when you provide a daughter or a woman, a grown woman with structure, then what you start to see is you start to get the best out of her. See, and this is beautiful. I'm glad that you said this, because when I say, and when I titled this, women should be they can be your biggest asset. I'm talking about better than real estate. I'm talking about better than content creation. I'm talking about better than any business that you can build. A woman that is operating truly in a space where she has structure, she has protection, she doesn't have to fight and fuss. She's not worried about whether or not you're going out and cheating on her. She understands exactly where her place is in a household. Whenever a woman is empowered to be the best version of herself, she will go out there and secure every single bag that you can get. And I'm not talking about going to secure money. She will put you in a room with the right type of people. You know what I'm saying? She will groom your daughter to be the best daughter ever. Like, there's so many benefits, and I'm not going to get too far into my bag this early into the night. But let's be clear. Women that operate under structure, and the reason that these people reject it so much is because they've never known it. If the only thing that you've ever known is the hood, and you've never even been outside of your city, you don't even know what the Eiffel Tower looked like. You have no idea what it's like to hear the cars that whiz by in New York. You don't know what it's like in Paris. You don't know what it's like in Vegas. And even people that go to Vegas, they never leave the strip. They don't know what it's like to drive out into the desert. They don't know nothing. And so they reject it because they don't know what's best for them. And that's why when a dude like me walk into the room with your chick, her eyes light up and she holding everything within her, trying not to show that she actually is resonating with this dude that's truly a man's man, and he's providing the structure. You think you a man until a real dude walk in there, and then your girl gonna start, her eyes gonna start doing like this. Her head not gonna move, but her eyes gonna do like this, because she don't want to see you. She don't want you to know that she reacting. And secretly within herself, she really wants you to be like him all of a sudden, because now her eyes is opened up. Now her eyes is opened up and she know what structure feel like. Women want masculine men. They just don't know it because they don't know what a masculine man look like. It's
Yeah, because most of the thing they were saying is that you're controlling and
I
you're
am.
using your money
I'm a
and you're
benevolent
using your
dictator.
money. Yeah, they say you're using your
Shout out
money
to
as
Jeff
power
Remy.
over your. You're using your money as power over your daughter. Is basically what they were alluding to.
So
When I
who's supposed to raise your daughter if you don't give the structure, the rules, if you don't set the standards as a man, if you're not the man that you would want your daughter to marry, and the man that you would want your son to grow up as, if you don't set the rules and the structure, who does? Because somebody is going to give her the structure. I'm telling you, it'll be somebody. It'll be somebody in the streets. It'll be a pimp. It'll be another man, a Pookie, a Ray Ray. Somebody going to set the standard for her. And if it ain't you, it's going to be somebody else. So who going to do it?
Right.
I agree with Anton. Anton is telling the truth when it comes to the whole family structure of a woman. That it's a man's responsibility to give the woman the structure she needs to be successful in life, especially a daughter. But the problem is with society today, especially in our community, Anton and everybody on the panel, black women are raised without no fathers. So that's the biggest thing why they just seem to be out of order.
So they're gonna naturally reject it because they don't even know what structure look like. Every single night
Correct.
they seen their mama trying to figure out how to make it work. They was eating grilled cheese and the end of the bread every single night. And so now they think that they can do what they want to do because they grown and they don't know what it's like to be handed off. They don't know what it's like to be walked down the aisle by their father that's raised them. And then the covering goes from the father to the husband. A woman should never, ever in life not have covering. It should go, she should have covering from the time that she's a single woman, from the time that she was born, all the way up until the time that she get married from her father. And then it's a reason why the father walks her down the aisle. It's literally a spiritual and a traditional thing that happens with the passing of the woman from the father to the husband. That's what it is.
away.
Anton, I got a question to ask you.
What it feels like.
Anton, I got a question to ask you. Because I ask a lot of grown men who have daughters. I don't have a daughter, so I ask a lot of grown men who have daughters. And one of the questions I ask them, do you think it's right for the fathers to teach the daughter to be independent or to depend on a man?
Listen, it's a difference between independent and knowing how to feed yourself. Every single person should know how to feed themselves. But the independent word, the independent word is not supposed to be a bad word. Let me bring my chick up in here. The independence word is
Rita.
not supposed to be a bad word.
Rita.
It's a bad word because we've used it in songs and we've used it and we weaponized it in order to justify, I don't need nobody or this and that, so on and so forth. The reality is that independence is not a bad thing. What it's supposed to mean is that you have the ability to survive in the worst circumstances. Nothing more. Nothing more. We really need to redefine how it is. We need to reevaluate how we're using these words. So raising your daughter not to need a man is much different than raising your daughter to look at a man as a partner instead of looking at him as your covering. I think that we all should raise our daughters to where she don't just fall flat on her face as a result of not having a man in her presence. But because you don't know what another human is going to do, you hope that they do the right thing. You raise them to be able to identify the right thing and all of that other type of stuff. But it doesn't mean that everybody is always going to do what it is that they're going to do, what they're supposed to do. So you want them to be able to survive. But at the same time, you don't want them to use that or weaponize it or be able to justify emasculating another man or saying that I don't want to rock with dudes or hating men just because they don't have one. It's a difference. Guys should not raise their women to not like men or to not be submissive when they find the right man, but they still should know how to feed their face and you know what I'm saying, if something ever happens. Like, that's just being an adult.
So Anton, this just may be just my perspective in my small circle, but it seems as though especially when I was growing up and I observed all these women that had very strict parents and especially stricter fathers, it seems as though they would always just act out, and then I see a lot of them just end up pregnant at this point, at a young age or that. So what would you say to the point of that resulting in her rebelling and acting out of line?
I would say that there's a couple of different things that happen in that situation. A, there's no balance, right? You still got to have balance. just because you see, it's one thing to be strict and it's another thing to be restrictive. I let my daughter go out with her friends. I let her have fun. I let her have a good time. And largely, my daughter don't even have rules until she can't be what she's supposed to be. She makes her own rules. Her inability to go to bed on time is going to cause for her to have a bedtime. If she can't wake up in the morning and get ready to school, okay, so let me see. How late was you up? All right, let me figure out how to give you some structure because apparently you can't manage it yourself. I don't set rules and restrictions on my daughter. What I do is I enable her to be the best version of herself. But at the same time, if she can't handle it, then I'm going to have to make some adjustments. And that's the difference.
So then what are those kind of, not micro consequences, but like what are the consequences that you're doing to like enforce those rules?
What do you mean? When she was a little kid, she would get whoopings.
Yeah, so I was gonna say like things like that, like when I was
at 13,
like, my mom would take everything.
I mean, I wouldn't. That's stupid. If you ain't learned a lesson by the time you're 13, then I'm gonna have to make some adjustments. I'll give you an example.
Take her phone. She can't go nowhere.
Yeah, you can ground her.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then that's what I'm saying. Like whenever I see that happen, like all those times, they just have that happen over and over. Like they'll get their phone taken away.
You gotta have balance. So what I do is I don't just look at punishments as the end all be all. It's a level of conversation and communication. I talk to her like an adult, and I talk to her like, I'll give you an example. She got one of my credit cards, and just in case anything happened, and then over time she just gradually started ratcheting up the spending. And next thing you know, she was spending $75 a day. Man, I was looking at it and I was like, yo, Les, what's going on? Come to find out, she out here stunting, buying food for her friends, and all of this other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Showing off, my daddy is the man, all of this other type of stuff. And we're laughing because she knows the truth. But I give my daughter an allowance, right? And she gets a really, really good allowance, and I'm teaching her how to manage her money effectively. So and look at her. Here she want to come out. Don't come out. Look at her. Look at her. You see her coming out of the room? But and I had a conversation with her. I said, I said, I'm going to have to take my credit card back, love. She said, why? I said, because I want to teach you how to manage money effectively, not just have the availability of money to do what you want to do. And so that's the difference. It's a balance. I wasn't punishing her because it's not her fault. She's learning as she goes along. But at the same time, I'm helping her to understand how she do things more effectively. So we sat down, literally, God is my witness. We sat down, we went over her budget. I said, hey, how much do you need to survive every 2 weeks? And we went through and I said, now keep in mind, you're still gonna have to pay yourself at least 25%. So that gotta go into your portfolio and your brokerage that you're managing and stuff like that. I'm forcing her to participate in her own success. We went through, we evaluated exactly what her allowance would be, how it is that we need to raise it. We talked about inflation. We talked about all of that type of stuff. And she still got my card because I still want her to be able to move around just in case she ever has an emergency. But she doesn't use it anymore because she's learned how to manage her money more effectively. But my point is that it's not always a punishment that needs to be assessed. Like, it's not always something that you need to hand down to say, hey, people don't have balance. And that's why you see pastors' kids, because a lot of times pastors' kids are trying to impress, not the kids, the pastors are trying to impress other people. They trying to impress other people, and so they're using a kid in order to do so, because we got an image to uphold. Instead, what they should be trying to do is show how realistic their life is, because it's not about being perfect, it's about being an overcomer. And that's what most pastors and most clergy and all of these people don't get. It's not about the presentation. It's about being authentic. If you can show your ups, your downs, your lows, your highs, your mistakes, and all of that, people will always rock with you because they're not there to look at you as a beacon of perfection. They're there to get the lesson so that they can use your life in order to become a better version of yourself. And so that's what's happening to pastors' kids, is that they're being done a disservice. It's not that the kids is bad. It's not that the pastor is too strict. It's that people don't know how to parent effectively. And that's the difference.
Nah, I really like that, because I remember, like, growing up, if anything I would do wrong, I wouldn't get no explanation. Like, nobody would just sit me down and explain, okay, this is what you're going to be doing right. It was just, you're in trouble. Like, I'm taking your phone, I'm taking your Xbox. All that stuff is gone. So, no, I like that point.
So, Anton, let me ask you.
Rita and I, we parent a little bit differently, right? When Rita and I have a conversation, Rita may be looking to say, you know what, maybe we need to, and this is just an example, this is not necessarily a real situation. She may say, I don't know, we might need to take her phone. And I say, nah, you know what, I don't think that's a solution. Me and Rita talk. I think we need to probably talk to her because, you know, and I explain my reasons why. Rita explained her reasons why. And then we bring Leslie in. We bring her in as a part of the conversation because she's big. She knows right from wrong. She knows how to she knows how to catch an Uber. She knows how to do everything. She can do everything a grown person can do. And so as a result, we learn how to have a conversation because she's becoming a young woman. We're not looking to restrict her. We're looking to empower her to be the best version of herself. What was you about to say, Black man? What's up, Coach Niche?
So what would be your response to the Black Men Unfiltered panel last night to the people that thought that think that you're being you're overcompensating, you're overshooting, you're being controlling with your money, you're using
what is overcompensating?
What I'm saying, okay, basically what they were saying was
there he is.
You're being there he is, sir. There he is, right? He was on last night. What's up, baby? So, you know, what would you say to them for saying that you're using your power and your money to control your child, and how do you how are you controlling her, where she goes and what she majors in and all this other stuff? They just feel like, oh, he's just so controlling over her, and if he continues to do that, he's going to lose her. What would you say to them? If right now,
well, so many generations of us haven't been lost as a result of all of us staying married and never. Listen, honestly, I've never known divorce. We don't know our kids being stupid and going out and doing that dumb junk. If it's worked for our generation and it's worked for so many kids that's come along with her and her cousins that's older for her and all of that, and they getting married and stuff now, if it's worked for the generations before us and the generations before us, I want to bet and see what my results are going to be versus their results. I'm willing to put up.
And that was going to be one of my questions. Can you guys hear me? Because I got these earpods in and I can't hear nothing.
I can hear you.
Oh, so not to derail the conversation, but this was something I was thinking about at work because of all.
And anybody can jump in as they see fit too, just to let y'all know.
Because we were talking about all this talk of submission, I'm glad Black man just brought that up. You know, where is the line between stern and controlling? What would a controlling man look like compared to
what is controlling when it comes to your child? I don't understand that.
No. I meant woman.
Not you, Brittany, but I'm just saying because they saying that I'm controlling. Leslie, do you honest? Ask her. Come here.
But a parent is supposed to control.
You're a man. Man's supposed to have some form of control.
$350 hoodie on. What would honestly? Be honest. Don't try to show off or none of that. Just be real.
She gonna show off.
No. She gonna be real. Honestly, my daughter she don't play that. Am I controlling in your honest opinion?
Not really.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because you just don't, like, when you say stuff, it's not controlling. It's like giving an opinion, like, not opinion, but like trying to motivate me to be better.
Do you think I motivate you to be better? Do I drive you to be better? When I talk to you, when I get on you, am I trying to punish you, or what do I do when I get on you and I get on you really, really hard?
It's not like, it's like pushing me to be better, basically.
She said it out of her own mouth.
Wow.
Anton. Man, because that's what a man's supposed to do anyway. A man's supposed to do that to his daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. Very few people are willing to put their whole family online. My daughter, my wife, everybody, they can cam up and speak for themselves. I don't restrict anybody. My whole life. You know my mom, you know my brother, you know my daughter, you know my wife. I will put my whole family online to be used as an example, and you can evaluate it and use it however you want to see fit. But I'm gonna be 100% authentic 100% of the time.
And look, Anton, so what's up, first of all? Good to see you, man. I've been watching you for like the last year. Let me start by saying this. What's up, Black Man? What up, Brittany B? What up, Security Boss? What up, Aaron? What's up, y'all? Hey, look, I used to hate you, Anton.
Why did you hate me?
I'm like, this is one of the most arrogant mothers. But let me tell you something. That was the first time that I saw a guy who was unapologetic about being successful. And I never seen that. And to guys who don't have that ambition, that comes off as you being arrogant until you start looking at the results. And so I joined your Patreon, by the way, because of that. And then I noticed changing your mindset that you're trying to put your family on. You got to have a different mindset to reach that level of success because it don't happen accidentally.
Well, let me tell you that I actually, listen, Rita will tell you, I hate that my family has to participate in being visible as a result of that's being the way I am. I don't even want to share Rita with y'all. I don't want to share Leslie with most of the people. I don't. But that's just what comes with what it is I feel like my purpose is. I'm unapologetic about success. I'm unapologetic about failure. Like, I'm going to show you everything. I'm unapologetic about it all because why should the people that do it the worst way get all of the visibility and get all of the airtime? Listen, we gonna champion every rapper. Scammers is cool now. All of the dope boys get all of the movies. And then I'm supposed to be quiet because I went to school, to community college, did it the right way, got my degree, started businesses, made sure that I held down my wife and for over 17 years, raising my daughter because I'm a church dude. So I'm supposed to be quiet so they can be the loud ones and I'm supposed to be quiet. Nah, fuck that. Fuck them and their feelings. Fuck everything about it. I don't care nothing about that, bro. Listen, it ain't enough good people. Everybody that's good is quiet. They like this. Well, I don't want to say nothing.
Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact.
I ain't about to be quiet for nobody. I ain't being quiet for nobody. If they don't like it, then do something about it. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. You know why? Let me tell you why they're not gonna do nothing about it. It's because I'm richer than your favorite rapper. Ain't nothing they gonna do about it.
Ooh, Rita.
That's how you got. I ain't gonna lie. That's how you got to talk. It's a good thing, Anton, that y'all should show that because a lot of men need to see that.
Look, Rita tapping me like.